basketball players. Elton Brand for Duke. The last time he played on this court, he led the United States to the Goodwill Gold Medal Championship. A powerful inside performer. And for St. John's, Ron Artest, who had only the second triple-double in the school's history against Seton Hall a few weeks ago. An outstanding all-around player.
They know each other well. Curtis Shaw, Larry Rose, the officials, and we're underway. St. John's controlled the tip.
Good hands by Artest.
Barkley guarded in the man-to-man by Avery in a matchup of point guards. Artest lost the handle, got it back, and scored the first. Farewell to Langdon. 2-0 St. John's, more than a minute play. Brand powers it up inside, but without him, they're that much smaller.
Yeah, a real pivotal piece to the puzzle for St. John's.
Battier. Carrawell had his hands on the rebound. It was batted away by Artest, but there's an easy two for Carrawell.
Beautiful touch pass by Trajan Langdon. From a rebounding standpoint in this ball game, so St. John's has to be very careful on their blockouts.
Tough pass, just saved by Artest to Bootsy Thornton. He's been hot lately, and he hits the runner. And the game's tied at 4.
Junior college transfer, sat out last year. There were quick hands by Barkley.
Now Jesse, 3-on-1. Artest unselfishly to Thornton.
This St. John
rains outside. It's a late arriving crowd. Carrawell didn't get the bounce. Brand the rebound.
He has
sound up with the ball. Nice move, but he didn't get the bounce.
There's Brand again with that double pump power. One of the things seen is that when there are solid screens outside and there are switches, no matter who switches for a beautiful line, not even much of the screen, but when you switch against Duke, normal alley-oop pass, perfectly done without a good solid screen.
The most anticipated game in the metropolitan New York area in many years. Jason Williams, Sam Cassell among those in attendance. Jason, one of the great players in St. John's history. Spike Lee's here. We'll keep an eye on who he might be heckling as the day goes along. And of course, no St. John's game complete. The St. John's bench, he has the ball now, number 25, an excellent sixth man. Very tough shot. Jesse around it, and he has a chance for 3.
Substitutions by Duke. Sticking with man-to-man. St. John's has showed man-to-man, and then that full court zone pressure.
Barkley, a 3. Now Langdon. Stripped from behind by Bootsy Thornton.
There is that team quickness, and James comes back to steal one.
And he banked it home.
Now we're starting to get more and more playing time as this season wears on.
He missed most of his first 2 years with thumb injuries and ankle and knee injuries. He rebounded the miss. Maggette fouled. He'll have a chance for a 3-point play.
Maggette, the most athletic player on this Duke in the 90s, which is kind of surprising, considering the fact that one year they took 3 teams into the Final Four in the same season.
And a chance to tie the game for Corey Maggette. Duke scores right off the inbounding play.
What illegal. Maggette slides right on through, and there's that power again. Even though he lost control of the ball, was able to go up.
Didn't think there was very much contact there to warrant the foul. Maggette missed the free throw, but Carrawell got the rebound. Langdon open for 3, and that's a mistake.
That's just a great hit. Look for Avery to test Charles.
Brand, that's a mismatch, and he's taking advantage of Richardson.
See right here on the inside, Brand maneuvering. He can go baseline, or he can come across with a little, and he's got that turnaround jumper and a lot of power. I tell you, from the waist on down, he is going to kill you with 3.
Boots on a 7-0 run. They've taken the lead. Thornton missed a shot. Richardson a rebound over Brand. But Brand off.
Oh, nice touch. I have to wonder, stamina-wise, whether St. John's can play this kind of pressure tactic this entire ball game.
Carrawell all the way into the lane, and then Maggette jammed home the miss.
Just carry it right on up through. They said only 17 minutes a game that he plays, but he may be.
In high school, Maggette in Illinois was a state finalist in the long jump and the triple jump. Brand, look out, missed it. There's James to finish.
Artest had to be.
Long drought for the Red Storm. They're down by 6. Maggette was stripped by Jesse. Avery got it. Maggette an open 3.
Probably not a good shot, but you can see there's just no blocking out. Well, it went right by him for the putback.
Carrawell has 4. He's a junior from St. Louis. Thornton might have gotten away with a walk, and he made the shot in the middle of the lane.
And here comes Duke again. Boy, do they put pressure on. You have got to be ready.
Avery, a quick 3, almost from the NBA line.
Well, Avery came to college.
He's never had a losing season. Now in his 14th year as a major college head coach.
Oh, Artest falls asleep.
Getty has 8 points. 8 of those 12 Duke bench points, and the lead is up to 11, the largest lead for the Blue Devil. They need Artest.
Boy, that was a pump.
While Brand called for the offensive foul, his second. He's on the bench. Chris Burgess is back in. LeVar Postel scores on the Duke team this year. Duke by 7, approaching 5 minutes left in the first half. Artest.
Oh, he just took Langdon and overpowered him inside. That's not a good matchup for Duke. Trajan Langdon being in good shape, but he can't handle Ron Artest on the low post.
Shot.
Boy, Duke got caught in some bad matchups for them there. They don't want it. Brand picking up his 3rd foul.
Battier scores from Brand.
Surprised, to be quite honest with you, that Brand's back in this ball game right now. Duke has big men that they can substitute.
Up shot, Barkley.
Try to hide. Let's see if they do stay in the zone situation here. Yeah, they stay in the zone. That's going to protect Artest, who's down in the middle.
You can't leave Langdon open for 3, though. That's the problem when you play zone against Duke.
That's exactly good point. Langdon comes out and hits the 3.
And his players do believe in him very quickly.
Oh, without question.
Jarvis has won over his team. Reggie Jesse rattled one home. The sophomore from Queensbridge, New York, has 5 points.
Let's see if Duke goes over the top of this zone pressure, and here it is. Now they want to attack inside to Brand.
Carrawell might have gotten away with a carry, then Brand scored from right underneath the bucket. He has 10. Missed a shot, but the ball got tipped back out to him. Now Carrawell alone for the dunk.
3 times.
Duke leads by 10. Blue Devils once have an 11-point lead. Thornton a step back 3.
Able to go with the team. His shoulder giving him a lot of problems. Everybody knows he's going to have a hip surgery in April. And 11 assists twice in a game this year. So he has the ability to put up big numbers, but he's having his hands full with this freshman.
As you can see, St. John's can just about take the last shot of the half. Thornton hits it with 4.
Great comeback by St. John's.
Avery never got a shot off. It's Barkley and Thornton with Artest, Richardson, and Jesse, the same 5 that started the game for St. John's. Thornton for 3, and the lead for the Red Storm.
We'll have to do some research on that, but he is off to an excellent start here.
Thornton's given a name at birth Marvis, but he much prefers Bootsy. And Shane Battier now has 4. He's a sophomore from Birmingham, Michigan. Barkley, nice back cut, and Artest found him.
It's a nightmare game for Avery. You know, he never shows any emotion, glides around there. He's got great quickness. And boy, Duke has got one game plan here, trying to fight over the top. Brand again.
That's the right place to go.
Now, if you're Mike Jarvis, and they do go zone.
Carrawell missed the 3. Langdon the rebound. Avery for 3.
And here's where the game plan, but Duke is so tough if you go zone, hitting that ball outside.
Miscommunication again. Barkley threw it right to Langdon. In Latin when he coached Patrick Ewing.
Yeah, Patrick Ewing was there that day, but ineligible to play because he had played in 2 previous All-Star games.
Artest took it away from Battier. Count the bucket. A chance for 3 for Ron Artest.
Now, could that have been a huge turnaround play? Artest could have picked up the foul on the charge. Well, the Chargers had pretty good position, but instead it's Artest with 2 and a chance for the 3.
Star as well. That's interesting. Duke that year was 9-3 when Mike Krzyzewski left. They finished the year 13-18. There's a 3 from Avery. Interesting that Duke does not count the 13-18 against Mike Krzyzewski.
Yeah, you know, I'm going to have to over the period of time, whether there's no precedent that I know of for that particular move. And there's the charging foul. Artest picks up the 3rd. Remember how important I said that He makes the good crossover dribble here. Beats his man, but there is Trajan Langdon stepping in. No question about the times. Into the zone, and all 3 times Duke has hit the outside shot. So they go back to man-to-man.
You're about to make a point about the precedent about coaching records.
Yeah, I don't know, you know, if the line, they're great free throw shooters in the backcourt, Trajan Langdon and William Avery.
Seven-point lead for Duke. They're 4 out of 8 from the free throw line today. From the corner, that's a 3.
Terrific job.
Bootsy is 22, averaging 15 a game, but that average has been coming up. And this free throw would have made it a 2-point game. Postel kept it alive. Got deflected back to Jesse. He went into the backcourt again.
It's James on Thornton. Carrawell on Barkley. What they're trying to do is to save Avery, who's over here on Jesse. Jesse ought to post up on him. Oh, yes! Thornton is just lighting him up. National Junior College Player of the Year. Sat out last year at St. John's, but having quite a day here.
And 3 by Bootsy. Thornton tied the game at 60 midway through the second half. This battle of 2 versus 9. Everything you could hope for, and Nick James quiets the crowd with a 3.
Points coming from usual defense by Duke that time is really man-to-man, but Brand not playing on Richardson.
Brand, such high school with Elton Brand. Governor Pataki would show up at the Peekskill games when Elton was playing there, and they had an outstanding team, as you might expect, while Brand played for Peekskill High.
What hustle! There's Postel. Langdon back in the game, getting shots from strange places. I thought that Postel hit this ball. I think it should have been Thornton trying to get loose on the baseline.
And the rebound went over his head off the Postel miss. A career high for Thornton today, 29 points. And at the other end,
Barkley being patient, being guarded by a much taller man now.
Postel swatted by Brand.
He almost blocked this with his armpit. Watch this. Boom. St. John's showing a little zone defense here, trying to protect Avery. Tremendous match of wits going on here between these 2 coaches.
And it's a foul shooting contest that favors Duke. Carrawell hits the runner from the free throw line.
Well, 2-3 zone, you're in the zone.
10 points for Carrawell out of Cardinal Ritter High School in St. Louis, the same school that produced Julian Winfield, who went to Missouri, Jahidi White of Georgetown, among others. Artest had it rejected by Brand, and he looks to run the floor.
Well, I'm surprised. St. John's had things set up for Jesse coming on the baseline to drive on Trajan Langdon. Didn't try it. Great job by Brand inside by Duke. St. John stayed zone 1 time and said, you know, we cannot stay in it. They go back to man-to-man.
Carrawell doing the bulk of the ball, handling the absence of Avery. Langdon missed a 3. Battier tipped it.
Oh, great play!
Artest poked it away from Carrawell and went in for the dunks.
How quick is he? Battier made a smart play. He thought on the tap out. Carrawell just stood flat-footed. Artest ran right on by him.
Carrawell. I should say not. 12 for Carrawell. We talked earlier about this being the most anticipated college basketball game in New York City in years, and it's lived up to that advanced billing. These 2 teams have gone at it all afternoon in a very entertaining game, still with 2:45 to go. Duke, number 2 in the nation, leads by 5.
Pine for a couple of games. Didn't let him start, just to say, hey, let's get focused back in what you got to do. Big shot! Thornton continues.
Bootsy Thornton has hit 6 3-point.
His pain is put him in a little different position than he normally is.
And he's barely moved off the bench, been almost emotionless in a very emotional game. Artest down the lane. He found it.
Great hesitation dribble by Artest. He was looking for the jump shot first, and that solid screen gave him enough room to go down the lane. Here you see right here, he was looking for the jumper, hesitated, beat Brand on it. makes the left-handed put-up. A triple-double man from St. John's. By the way, Duke, with all of their storied history, and guys like Grant Hill and Art Heyman and Mullins.
Carrawell for the lead. Got the bounce, hit the rim, then the backboard. And
when you've got the ball offensively.
Best free throw shooter in the history of the ACC. Makes the first.
You don't have to go for a three-point shot if he happens to make this one.
St. John's is out of timeouts.
Thornton is the guy that's been best from the outside today. Here he comes off the curl.
Not going for a three yet. Brand blocked it. Artest with 17 seconds left for three. Short. Brand. He calls a timeout going.
Carrawell. So what's good for the
right in front of Langdon. They put Chudney Gray into the game as Mike Jarvis for the first time today. He's number 3, a guard, perhaps just to commit a foul if he has the chance.
Notice nobody guarding the man taking the ball out of bounds.
Bad pass, stolen. Artest. It's the basket.
And a foul.
Will they count that as a 3-shot opportunity?
Yes, they will. Yes, they will. It's going to be a 3-shot opportunity at the back. Nobody to throw the ball to. They try to go over the top to Brand. Artest gets it and just throws it towards the basket. It will be an attempt. There'll be a foul on Brand. Artest will go to the line for 3.
And that's a great job by Artest to draw that. Brand fouls out. Looked like Brand was being held by Artest as that ball was being inbounded. Artest had one arm wrapped around the hip of Brand. That one uncalled. Mike Jarvis wanted to make sure he was going to get
this young man here, without question, athletically one of the top kids in the Big East. But how about the 2 plays that he's made in regard to nothing to do with athleticism? He makes that play knowing he's got to go for 3. He makes the out-of-bounds play calling the timeout.
He needs to make all. He's made one already. He's 3 for 3 today, but just 65% for the year. That one rattles out with 10.3 seconds left.
He wants to miss this one, and guys get moving on the boards, but there's no timeouts for St. John's to call anything. So he wants to miss.
Really?
I think so.
And just go for a quick foul.
No. I think you want to miss here and try to get possession of the ball again, because you got to figure Duke's going to try to get the ball to Trajan Langdon. Why do I want to call him Langdon Turner?
But even if he makes one here and you foul quickly, you could still be within 3 points. He did make it.
They get it to James. He's going to be fouled.
By James shooting 2.
Oh, he got the bounce. Big sigh of relief by James. Do you foul so that St. John's can't tie you with a 3? I like that strategy.
You don't see it done very often. It seems to make sense, but it is rarely done. James made both. Now St. John's needs a 3. Down by 3. 9 seconds left.
They are not going to foul. They're trying to extend the time here for Barkley.
Artest moves closer. Long 3 to tie. Good with 1 second left.
That's why I think you should foul.
Battier stolen. Artest at the buzzer. No good. That looked like a travel before the heave, but it also looked like the officials were ready to count it. Hadn't gone in.
And without question, it was a travel. But Artest, does he come up big or not? Sean, that's why I think you should always foul.
Yeah.
You cannot lose the game. You know, why in the world did person tie you up? Some shot by Artest, and he's done all of this with 4 fouls on him. He got the screen and got it off. Now I think we ought to assess, what do these 2 coaches have to play with here the rest of the way?
Well, very little.
Yeah,
it certainly advantage Duke in terms of depth.
Well, in one respect, though, they've got only 1 guard, traditional guard, to play the rest of the way, and he's got 4 fouls on him.
That's Langdon. Avery's fouled out. He hasn't scored today. An opening for Thornton. The lefty hits it.
Thornton, James, for some reason, thinks that Thornton is going back outside. I don't know why, and there was the good jump stop.
Carrawell's not ordinarily the point guard. 2 minutes left in overtime. James, awkward shot, didn't get it. Battier, chance for 3.
That's Artest, I think, fouling from behind. James kept it alive. The shot turned out to be a pretty good pass.
Battier made both. A 3-point lead for Duke. We've been here before.
And Barkley still has to realize they don't need 3.
Thornton looking inside for Artest. Guarded by Battier. Artest fouled.
The thing it may do for Duke, Burgess is a postman, so it gives them a low post offensive player. Trajan Langdon coming off a screen, catching the ball in the inbounds.
5 out of 7 from the line now. Artest. He made 1 out of 2. Duke with the ball up by 2. Carrawell rebounded and controls.
I'm surprised Carrawell constantly wants to challenge these smaller, quicker guys with his dribble.
Carrawell, Langdon, Battier, Maggette, and Burgess for Duke in a battle here at Madison Square Garden.
Is a great stroke on his shot. Beautiful rotation, a lot of confidence, a lot of character.
He's 7 out of 8 from the line today. Now it's a 2-possession game. Duke by 4. Under a minute left in overtime. Thornton buries another 3.
He has been sensational. They want to get the ball back to Trajan Langdon. Try to get him on that foul line. Duke will have to give up the ball.
40 points for Bootsy Thornton today. 40 of the 88 St. John's points. Duke by 1. Shot clock at 18.
Trajan Langdon wanting a solid screen up high. He's got to be careful about 5 seconds.
Langdon started and lost it. Artest had it poked away by Maggette. Timeout.
To try to curl off some people to get this ball. Here come the solid screens. Deep in the backcourt. Are they going to foul the freshman? They don't get a chance.
Now they foul Carrawell, and if that's Artest, he's out. And then some while Artest was out.
Record. So in any case, he's had a tremendous game.
Carrawell at the line. Mike Jarvis at the scorers table unhappy about something. His assistants are also well.
The officials were correct on that one.
They have been through much of the day. It hasn't been an easy game to officiate. A lot of whistles, but they've been consistent anyway.
Duke backs off. How about Barkley on a drive, keeping the dribble alive?
They could use a 3 here, down by 3 with 10 seconds to go. Barkley forces one up. No, rebound and a huge one by Carrawell, and he's fouled coming out of the pack.
Have to take any satisfaction out of this ball game because they've got back-to-conference tough games coming up. They'll have Connecticut in here next Sunday after going to Syracuse.
That was a huge make. Now it's a 4-point game. Barkley missed a 3 at the buzzer, and Duke survives in overtime. 14 straight wins for the Blue Devils as they go to 19-1. And St. John's is now 16-4.